What's going on, Broncos fans? We have a jam-packed show today. From the latest Aaron Rodgers trade rumors all the way to the Broncos head coaching search update and potentially a new favorite. So be sure to stick around and watch the entirety of today's show because we have a lot of ground to cover. Let's start with Aaron Rodgers, though. The Packers do what they do best, and that is choke in the postseason and leave Rodgers frustrated that they did not win a Super Bowl. So after yet another early playoff exit, could this be the end of Aaron Rodgers' time in Green Bay? Well, he's unsure where he will play for the rest of his career, whether he wants to stick in Green Bay or if he wants to kind of try somewhere else and attempt a new adventure, and maybe that's in Denver. Now, we all remember last offseason, the Broncos were one of the most, if not the most, active teams trying to get Aaron Rodgers and trade from all the way up until the NFL draft, and then following that into training camp when he was holding off his little holdout with the Green Bay Packers front office. Rodgers, following the loss in the divisional round against the 49ers, said, I'm going to take some time and have conversations with the folks around here, and then take some time away and make a decision, obviously before free agency. Those are very important words there at the end. Obviously before free agency, because the league the 2022 season doesn't start until the middle of March, and a trade could be finalized before then, but it wouldn't make it official until afterwards. And I think Rodgers wants to handpick where he goes if he has to get traded, and then where that team, what team that would be, have a voice in who that team could go out and sign. So I think a trade is coming. I don't think it's up in the air anymore. I think Rodgers should start packing up right now, looking for a good moving company, and enlisting whatever city he wants to go to, seeing if any fans want to come help pack up a box. Because I, for one, would get my packing tape and scissors and a Sharpie to mark the boxes, maybe some stickers to color coordinate, bubble wrap. Yeah, I'll do everything what it takes to get Rodgers out of Green Bay. And the sportsbook, they kind of agree with me. In fact, here are the odds on if Rodgers gets traded, where is the most likely place for him to go? The Broncos are the favorite. That's right. Denver is the favorite at plus 250. That's the odds-on favorite if Rodgers gets traded, where he would end up. Number 2 is the Steelers, and we'll compare the resumes between Pittsburgh and Denver. But first, we've got a Pittsburgh Steelers channel here at Chat Sports, and they're kicking our butts in sub numbers right now, but I'll tell you this. I can't guarantee that if we catch up to the Steelers in subscribers, then Aaron Rodgers will pick Denver over Pittsburgh. I wish it worked that way, but I can say, why leave it up to chance? What if one day he's just bored on YouTube? He's like, whatever the next YouTube channel I see, I'm going there. And boom, he sees the Broncos Breakdown because we have more subscribers than the Steelers Report. Just hit that big red button and help lure, bring, entice, whatever adjective, whatever Mad Lib you want to play, Aaron Rodgers to Mile High. Comparing the Broncos and the Steelers. Both teams have some good chips to toss Aaron Rodgers' way. I also just want to verbalize again, Aaron Rodgers, he does not have a no-trade clause. So what that means is the Packers could send him anywhere he wants, but it's Aaron Rodgers. He's given that franchise so much. My guess is it'll be a conversation of, hey, Aaron, we've got offers from Team X, Y, and Z. Where do you want to go? But the Broncos, they have 5 picks in the top 100 of the 2022 NFL draft. So they have the most arsenal they could offer the Packers right now for draft picks immediately. They have about 10 picks total. It'll be finalized once the season comes to an end and once free agency starts, because if Melvin Gordon goes and signs elsewhere for a good contract, then the Broncos will get a compensatory pick. So you got to wait and see how that finalizes out. But Denver currently ranks 6th in cap space for the 2022 season, about $44 million. So that could take on Aaron Rodgers' huge contract. Plus, maybe you could bring on Devontae Adams too. I bet Aaron Rodgers would love to bring his buddy Devontae with him. Now the Steelers' wallet. They currently have 5 picks in the draft. They have their own 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and a couple 7ths. They do not have much to bargain with. They rank 11th in cap space for the 2022 season with $34 million, so they'd have to move some money around most likely to make a deal happen, but they could do that no problem. They do have the coaching edge, though. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, unless I love Nathaniel Hackett and the Broncos hire him and it's your lifelong dream to play with Nathaniel Hackett as your head coach, I'm guessing he'd rather play with Mike Tomlin. And that's fair, right? Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season, so the floor is very low. If Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, though, it's Denver's to lose. They're the odds-on favorite. They can offer the most to the Packers. They can give up the most draft capital. They can offer the most kind of proven, talented roster players as well. And his fiance lives in Colorado, Aaron Rodgers, growing out the mullet, loves some IPAs, do a little you-know-what in the mountains. It's legal. That seems a lot more up Aaron Rodgers' speed than hang out in the Steel City with a lot of black smoke up in the air. Here's my mock trade, though, for Aaron Rodgers between the Broncos and the Packers. I've got the Broncos receiving Aaron Rodgers and also a 7th-round pick in 2023 because that's how GMs work. They just feel like if we toss a 7th-rounder, it makes everything hunky-dory. The Packers, meanwhile, they get a good haul. Maybe not good enough, though, even. 2022 first and second, a 2023 first and third-round pick, and Drew Lock to compete with Jordan Love for the starting job, and a second-year up-and-coming offensive lineman in Quinn Miners to help keep whoever the next quarterback is in Green Bay upright because you don't want to lose Rodgers and the next guy comes in and he just gets stomped on all the time. Personally, as I'm speaking right now, I don't even think that's enough. I think you'd have to up it a little bit more, but would you do this trade for Aaron Rodgers? Type A for accept or D for decline. This is the pinned comment, so make sure you hit scroll on down and get your votes in. I would accept it, no doubt, and I'll tell you why in more detail in just a moment. But let me know what you're thinking. If you're declining because you think that's too much, well, let me see if I can persuade you. Think about it this way, and I've seen plenty of comments of, no, you can't give up that many picks. No one's worth that many picks. Well, yeah, people are worth that many picks. People that can take you to the Super Bowl are worth that many picks. Because I said 2 firsts, right? 2022, 2023, a second and a third. Well, Rodgers is better than anyone at the number 9 pick in the 2022 NFL draft. If the Broncos want to draft Kenny Pickett, I would take Rodgers over Kenny Pickett. So you check that box, okay? Then you look at the 2023 picks. Aaron Rodgers is going to bring the Denver Broncos to the playoffs. That has to be a fact. Hopefully he brings them far into the playoffs. Kind of like the Von Miller trade, where that second and third from the Rams right now is going to be pretty late. And so the Rams aren't sweating it too much. And so the Broncos will go, yeah, we're going to lose our first for next year. Hopefully it's a 32nd overall pick in the draft, and you don't really care about the last pick in the first round anymore because you just won a Super Bowl. And then it should go without saying Rodgers is better than Drew Lock, so I don't even know why I even had to put that on the screen. And then Quinn Miners, yeah, I like him a lot. Belly looks like a lot of fun to play with. He looks like he's going to be a starting offensive lineman in the NFL for years to come. Great pick by George Paton, but you got to give some starting caliber players back to Green Bay if you're going to get someone like Rodgers. So he's just a casualty in this trade. Not like I don't want him to play in Denver, but you got to, spend a little money to make a little money. And Quinn Miners, it probably even isn't enough, but I think the Packers would like to get someone in their rookie contracts. They get a good starting player who's also super cheap as well, and they don't have to acquire, like I originally thought Tim Patrick, but Tim Patrick's not super cheap anymore. So if you're Green Bay, you're like, do we want to get Tim Patrick and we don't even have a proven quarterback and we got to pay Tim Patrick a good amount of money with a bad quarterback? That could be a waste of resources. I think this makes a lot of sense if I'm Denver. Switching gears, the latest on the head coaching search now. Where are all the tea leaves pointing? What's the latest rumors coming out of Mile High? Well, we're going to get to all that because there may be a new favorite on the Broncos head coaching search. But first, guys, our sportsbook partner, BetUS, is putting out awesome lines and deals all year long. Get locked in when you go to chatsports.com/bet. You got to use that link. And then you get the promo code Broncos125, and that hooks you up with the 125% deposit bonus. In English, you put $100 in, now you got 125 on top of that. So you got 225. You are rolling in some Benjis, so make sure you make all your bets like Super Bowl bets over at BetUS. I just bet on the Rams. Love to see Von Miller win another ring, and you're not going to get better odds at this point going forward. If the Rams beat the Niners next Sunday, that plus 200 to win the Super Bowl will change to like plus 120. if they're playing the Chiefs, and if they're playing the Bengals, minus 180. So you're not going to get better value than right now. Get your Super Bowl picks in today over at BetUS. The Broncos have whittled their list from 10 names down to 3. That's what Mike Klis and Benjamin Allbright and Ian Rappaport, a bunch of big wigs in the journalism world, are tweeting out. So here are the 3 final names it appears to be in the Broncos head coaching search as of today, Monday afternoon. Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator for the Packers, he is getting interviewed as we speak right now, as I speak right now, and depending on when you're watching this, as you listen and watch right now. Dan Quinn, he's supposed to be later this week, and Kevin O'Connell, the offensive coordinator for the Rams, he cannot interview until next week because the Rams have a game this weekend. So I wonder if that's going to be, unfortunately, a thorn for O'Connell. Who do you want the Broncos to hire, though? We'll go in more detail on these names in just a moment. But who do you want? Here at Chat Sports, one of the best things about it is that we love hearing back from you guys. It's not just me giving my takes up here. I go back in the comment section, back and forth with you guys all the time. We got thick skin, so even if you disagree with me, I can take it. I just cry a little bit. So let me know who you guys want the Broncos to be hired to be the next head coach. Let's do some extra homework on Hackett because he may be the early favorite. He's the first person the Broncos are doing a second interview with. The Broncos flew him in on their private jet Monday afternoon. So maybe I'm overreacting, but they asked Hackett to come back first over Dan Quinn, it looks like. So you can, read through the lines there. And then the big thing is an Aaron Rodgers departure from Green Bay seems inevitable at this point. So if you want to get Aaron Rodgers, hire his offensive coordinator. That way he goes to a team he already has some good, comfortable familiarity with, and he doesn't have to, shake the new head coach's hand and go, "Hi, I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you. Let's catch up to speed and get ready to win a Super Bowl in a year from now." Not to be a party pooper, but I do have some reservations about Nathaniel Hackett because maybe we're all jumping into bed with him a little too quickly. I think it is worth taking a step back and asking yourself a couple questions. One, if Aaron Rodgers never wanted to get traded from Green Bay, if all that saga, all that drama last offseason never happened and he wanted to finish his career with the Packers, would Hackett be this popular of a name? Or is Hackett becoming a popular name because of the possibility of getting Aaron Rodgers? Now, Nathaniel Hackett has had some experience as an offensive coordinator before the Packers. In fact, he was the play caller for the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he didn't really overly impress there. In 2013 and 14 with the Bills, granted, he was working with E.J. Manuel and Kyle Orton, so not household names. And with the Jags, he had Blake Bortles. And look at the 2017 numbers. He got the best out of, I believe, a slam dunk Hall of Famer, Blake Bortles. But the 2017 they were one quarter away from winning the AFC Championship game in Foxborough and going to the Super Bowl, and maybe they could have beaten the LA Rams. But you just look at the numbers there, and you're like, this is the guy that we're all jumping up and down about? I mean, there's nothing too special about these numbers. And granted, he did a lot of great things for the Packers, but he's the offensive coordinator on a team that has the head coach calling plays. What if Rodgers, though, doesn't want to go to Denver? What if he wants to go to Pittsburgh? What if he's like, you know what? I want to go play with Mike Tomlin and TJ Watt, and they've got a great, organization there. Even when Big Ben is having an awful season, they still go to the playoffs. Yeah, then I worry if Nathaniel Hackett, walks in to the front office and goes to work, and he's looking around like, "What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?" And they're like, "Dude, this is awkward, but we actually just kind of wanted you because we thought we could get Rodgers if we hired you." That's my fear, is how big of a pro is it for Hackett to get Rodgers potentially? Could it backfire horribly if Rodgers doesn't want to go to Denver and the Broncos hired Hackett because of that being a huge potential driving factor? I think it's just worth talking about. Dan Quinn. I've harped on Rodgers and Hackett enough now. Dan Quinn. Could it still be his job to lose? Well, he was the early favorite, and he's getting a second interview. but he didn't have a graceful last game in Dallas, if that is his last game. And recency bias is a big thing in society. So I wonder if that's going to play a factor of, the last game there against the 49ers. Didn't look too good on defense down in the beginning of the game. I still think Dan Quinn is probably the favorite, but maybe it's not. It's hard to say. Kevin O'Connell, he's at a bit of a disadvantage, the offensive coordinator for the Rams. One, he's probably a little early to get a head coaching job anyway, and then you add in the fact that Hackett and Quinn will both get an interview before him, and then they talk to O'Connell, and they're like, dude, we already liked Hackett a ton. We love Quinn. We're just doing this out of formality because we said we'd interview you, but let's make this like 30 minutes, and then I got some Dane Cook to watch on pay-per-view. I'm out. Wrapping up the video now, what's your Super Bowl prediction? Who you got? I originally said Rams, Bills. I was 13 seconds away from looking like a genius, and now I'm going to probably pivot to Rams Chiefs. Let me know what your predictions are in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that big red button and subscribe, and we'll catch you later here on the Broncos Breakdown.